why should you even care about observability? What kind of tangible business benefits is implementing or using systems like that actually going to bring you? It's something that's, not immediately obvious, especially, if you're very, call it financially driven when it comes to your optimizations or your approach to managing teams and managing software solutions. It's at first, it might appear to be just another cost, just another thing to add to the register for what it takes to maintain and host your application. And that might not necessarily be what you want. But the real value starts to show itself whenever you're actually encountering problems. Some of the biggest benefits that come from a properly built out and thought out and executed observability solution, not just for Elixir, but just for software in general, is it minimizes your downtime and helps you diagnose issues faster. And this is probably, where the single largest value grab for something is, depending on the scale of your application or what kind of business that you're running, downtime could actually, threaten people's lives. I mean, there are certain, mission critical, software critical applications that genuinely can't afford to, have defects or have issues. And when they do, it's of paramount importance that the issue is remedied as quickly as possible. Now, your particular situation might not be that. You might not be running mission critical software, but the speed at which your staff or your teams are able to understand what's wrong and fix it helps minimize damages to your public reputation, minimize costs, losses of revenue, all of these things that will impact your bottom line. And more, in a lot of cases, will probably have larger financial impacts than the cost of running the observability solution itself. So it's definitely, at least for me, the speed at which solve a problem is substantially higher with a properly built out observability solution. You can already test on finding bottlenecks. That's a great one, especially if you're relatively, you're starting your business, it's a startup, and you're in early phase development. It's probably not going to be, picture perfect the first time your software goes version 1.0, no matter what system you're building. There's just hardly ever a situation where the product just gets built and it's perfect. Identifying those bottlenecks, finding where your code is just slow is incredibly valuable, especially because observability solutions don't necessarily have to be brought in your software at the beginning. These solutions, if you're just not finding out about it, or maybe, you inherited a project from some other team and you're not responsible for it. I've been in that boat a lot. One of the best things you can do is bring observability into an application to help, bolster confidence and understand.
We've certainly done that a lot. It seems like,
Yeah.
You get a new project and it's all like, oh, so what's your observability setup? Yes.
Wow. Sometimes we're not even sure where those logs are stored, but we're pretty sure they're written somewhere. When you put that observability solution in or have it, you get an unparalleled amount of confidence in what's going on. Because it truly puts you in tune with what your system is doing, especially when things are going wrong. I touched on it earlier, but those traces are incredibly valuable whenever you have faults or errors happening, because unlike traditional log messages or just users submitting reports that things are broken, they generally will show you exactly where in your code, where in your system the failures are occurring. And knowing the location is oftentimes 80% of the debugging time. Just identifying like where and what is the problem. How do I reproduce it? Eliminating that lets developers and technical staff members jump straight into remedying the solution instead of searching and fumbling around trying to understand the problem. So
It is kind of funny thinking of it from, I guess it's something that people don't ever really think about, but there is kind of a human aspect that you need to consider when it comes to like crisis situations with outages and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Things are already scary enough when they go down, but giving your developers the quality of, or the peace of mind, rather, to quickly diagnose things, that's so invaluable within your organization. Talk to any developer and like, generally they will have a story about some outage that they consider like one of the worst days of their professional career. It's just one of those pieces that we all have to deal with as we work in software, but why not equip ourselves with the best possible tools, just to make that all much easier.